stars shine. She's a part of the assembly line. She's making history, working for victory. Rosie, the riveter, keeps a sharp lookout for Sam.
Welcome to Homefront News. Today we are doing a special segment on women in World War II. Last night, veronica won a Distinguished Service Medal for her brave actions in the war. It's amazing that a woman finally stepped up to the plate and fought for what she really believed in. Here's a clip from the interview we had with her earlier today.
Nice to meet you, Vera. I'm Veronica, and I'll be interviewing today, and we're here to talk a little bit about the Women Army Corps.
All right.
So, we heard that you recently got your Distinguished Service Award, and we just are here to talk about that, and, just to start off, do you want to tell us a little bit about that and, the Women Army Corps?
Sure. Well, I was ranked as colonel, and in 1942, I became head of the Women's Army Corps. The Women's Army Corps was because of a bill passed in 1943. On July 3rd, it was signed into law that women were given the choice of working in the Army because there was a shortage of men and material. So they needed someone to fill the gap, but they couldn't resort to more men because they were already in the war.
So, what do women actually do in the war? Are they just nurses, or do they actually fight, hands-on, or are they just,
Women in World War II are definitely still behind the scenes, but not as behind the scenes as the women were in World War I. They work as nurses, cooks, seamstresses, making uniforms, medical technicians, and secretaries. And in 1945, we had 100,000 women working in the war, but by the end of the war, we had 460,000 women total.
Wow, that's a crazy amount. So you said you were head of the Women Army Corps. Is that your only position, or are you anything else besides, or you just run? Do you oversee everything basically?
I do oversee everything. I'm head of the not so I am head of the women's.
Okay, so before the war, before the Army, is there anything big you did to get ready for this, or what else did you do before?
Before I started working in the Army, I went to school. I went to a law school and another high school, and that didn't work out for me, so I became vice president and then president of the Houston Post in Texas.
Wow. Awesome. Do you have anything else you want to add today, or before we wrap up? Anything interesting about the war, anything else?
Well, I think that's just about it.
All right. Well, awesome. It was awesome having you here, and congratulations on becoming colonel and earning your Distinguished Service Award. And I hope I'll see you around. Thank you.
Thanks so much to Avetta for joining us and Veronica for taking your time to do this interview. That was awesome. For the next few minutes, we're going to talk about a huge influence on women at this time, Rosie the Riveter. If you do not recognize the name, here is a picture of her. You can find it in magazines, posters, and other public places. Rosie the Riveter actually came from a song, right? Yes, by the Vagabonds. We played it at the beginning of the show. It's about a woman whose boyfriend was in the Marines, and she worked in a factory while he was gone. This song inspired about 2.5 million women to get jobs in manufacturing. Great. Here's an interview by someone who was inspired by Rosie.
Newscast series on World War II. We're so happy that you were able to make it today. We heard that you were inspired by Rosie the Riveter and wanted to learn more about your inspiration from her.
Thank you for having me, and yes, I actually am inspired by Rosie because in the song that was written about her, she has a boyfriend who's in the Army, and she has to stay home and work, and I do have a boyfriend who's in the Army, and I stay back, and I work on the farms and in factories, and it is kind of difficult, but I manage, and yeah.
Wow, that sounds rough. What is work like for you?
Work is pretty hard because I have to do it basically by myself. I mean, I work with other women, but there's no men with us because they're mostly in the Army, and it's hard and strenuous, and we work for really long hours, but, we get through it.
What exactly do you do?
Well, like Rosie, I do work in the factories and I help make things and stuff, but I also work on farms and they call me a land girl. I actually live on the farms where I work, and I work for, like I said, I work for a long time and it's difficult, but I mean, living on the farms, it's easy because I just go out and stuff, but it's kind of sometimes difficult to get to the factories, so.
Wow. What is your pay like?
For working on the farms, I get paid about $2.15 a week.
A week?
Yeah.
Wow.
You know, I mean, we probably could get paid a little more, but they have to pay a lot of bills. And I also, I get paid a little more to work in the factories, so it does add up. But you know, I do.
And are you living? Sorry to interrupt. Are you living by yourself?
Yeah, I do live by myself right now. I don't have to like raise a family or anything. I have no kids. I mean, I see my parents sometimes, but I do live on my own because I have a job. And when my boyfriend's home, we do live together. But right now, since he's gone, we're obviously not living together. But hopefully, when he comes back,
Hopefully that'll be fun. Huh?
Yeah, having some company. It's hard, but yeah. I mean. We do, it's hard for us to communicate, you know, we try to write letters often, but I mean, hopefully we'll try to start a family when he comes back.
Oh, that's so precious.
Thanks.
Is there anything else you would like to add?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, well, thank you so much.
Thank you. We can do it!